You might not admit it, but if you're a Sigma male, you probably don't have many real friends. You might be wondering why, especially if you know you're an intelligent and capable person. Although it's normal to feel that moment when you really want a friend who thinks like you, many people do not believe that Sigma men do not have many friends because they refuse to follow the crowd. To be true in some cases, that is not always the reason. There are also some deeper psychological reasons why Sigma men have few or no friends. In a world that often values extroversion, sociability, and comfort, Sigma males often find themselves swimming against the tide. These are individuals who prefer authenticity and the depth of their connections to superficial popularity. This innate desire for meaningful relationships can sometimes lead them to be more selective in their choice of friends, prioritizing quality over quantity. This selectivity is not born from arrogance or aloofness, but rather from a deep need for a true companion. Additionally, Sigma males are often deeply introspective and introspective. They tend to value solitude and personal reflection, which can sometimes make them distant or withdrawn in social settings. Although they may enjoy the company of others, they are selective about who they let into their inner circle, preferring those who share their values, interests, and worldview. Another factor that affects the Sigma man's smaller social circle is their preference for authenticity and honesty. They are not interested in superficial interactions or superficial friendships based on social status or convenience. Instead, they seek relationships based on trust, loyalty, and mutual respect, qualities that are often rare in today's fast-paced, superficial social environment. Additionally, due to their independence and self-confidence, Sigma males can face challenges in forming friendships. Unlike alpha or beta personalities who thrive as leaders or in group dynamics, Sigma males often prefer to march to the beat of their own drum. Others who are used to more traditional social norms can sometimes misunderstand or see this as marginalization. Despite these challenges, Sigmors have many admirable qualities that make them valuable friends and companions. They are often very loyal, trustworthy, and understanding, making them trusted confidants and advisors to those lucky enough to earn their trust. Their ability to think critically and independently allows them to offer unique perspectives and solutions to problems, enriching the lives of those around them. Essentially, while Sigma men may not conform to conventional social expectations, they make a huge contribution to the fabric of social dynamics by challenging norms, promoting authenticity, and enriching relationships with their depth and sincerity. This expanded the introduction builds on the original paragraphs and provides additional context and insight into Sigma male personalities. Let's look at the top 12. People lie too much, and it takes a long time to trust someone. According to a study by the University of Massachusetts, 60% of young people aged 18 and over cannot lie for 10 minutes. 70% of all liars say they would do it again. While it is true that lying can be useful in some situations, it also makes it difficult to trust people. Sigma men tend to be more sensitive to the truth and want to surround themselves with people they can trust. They are unlikely to trust anyone until their behavior is consistently reliable. This can make it difficult to form close friendships because the other person may not understand why Sigma is so suspicious. He likes to keep it real, and that can be hard to find in most social circles. Although lying is part of everyday communication, Sigma men tend to be more honest and straightforward than most. This may bother some people who may feel that these men are too blunt or blunt. The truth is, Sigma men just don't want to waste time talking or arguing. They prefer to get to the point and say what needs to be said. If something smells bad, they quickly retreat. If something smells bad, they quickly retreat. You know that feeling when something goes wrong, and you just don't feel comfortable with the situation or the person. Maybe it's bad energy that doesn't quite feel right, or worse, a person who clearly just wants to use you. This is one of those moments where Sigma backs off quickly. They don't want to feel stupid or taken for granted. Even if they know you, They will immediately distance themselves if you start acting shady or lying to them. Because of this, they sometimes seem to have trust issues. They don't want to get too close if the person they're talking to seems untrustworthy or untrustworthy. As they say, better safe than sorry. As soon as everything smells bad, the Sigma guys put you on their radar. And now, when you speak, they judge your every word and deed. Although this may seem like an exaggeration, it is actually one of the reasons why they cannot be fooled. People who don't understand why they behave this way may see it as a negative trait, but when you look at it from their perspective, it's actually quite understandable. Unless you don't mind being taken advantage. 3. They don't want many friends, just single rides or death houses. While other people may want to have lots of friends and feel accepted, Sigma men are more selective. They want to have a few close friends who are always there for them no matter what. Too many friends can be exhausting and overwhelming for them because they don't want to spread themselves too thin. This is not to say that Sigma men are antisocial. When it comes to relationships and friendship, they simply prefer quality over quantity. These men are not looking for a large and diverse network of friends. They just want to find someone who really understands them and thinks the same way. Such friendships are hard to come by. So Sigma males are usually quite selective about who they let into their inner circle. Once you get through this strict selection process and earn their trust, you've made a friend for life. From now on, you can only expect loyalty and honesty from your Sigma friend. While this process makes it harder to make friends, it also makes what you do that much more meaningful. That kind of loyalty can be hard to find, but when it's there, it's a bond that lasts a lifetime. Just think of all your friends who have come and gone, and then compare them to the ones who are still around after all these years. These are the people Sigma men want as friends, not the ones who are only when it suits them. 4. They are very skeptical of those who become their fast friends. While most alpha males don't care about anything other than fame and status when it comes to making friends, Sigma males are a bit pickier. The people you surround yourself with determine the kind of person you become, so approach any potential friendship with caution. They are very skeptical of those who become their fast friends because it seems suspicious when someone who was once a complete stranger suddenly becomes close. This does not mean that Sigma men do not want to make new friends, but they are always looking for genuine ones. Making close friends suddenly is often considered suspicious. This is not always the case, but Sigma men prefer to get to know someone for a while before calling them friends. They don't want superficial relationships. They just want to make sure that the people they become close to have their best interests at heart. You know the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Sigma men take this very seriously. They want to make sure that the people they call friends are good for them, not just yes men or people who go out just for convenience. 5. They don't put much effort into making new friends. You will never see a Sigma man too hard to make new friends. They don't feel the need to impress anyone or show off their accomplishments, so they don't mind putting on a show to get the approval of others. Instead of relying on flashy displays, these men focus more on the quality of their relationship. They want to make sure that the person they are befriending is genuine and trustworthy, so they don't struggle to get close. The Sigma man tends to be introverted and can often be found in his own world, quietly thinking or in the company of close friends. They are not very talkative, so they do not try to start a conversation with strangers. But that doesn't mean they don't want to talk to people. They just don't feel the need to do it for their sociability. While some may consider this a negative feature, others may appreciate it. After all, when was the last time you had a pleasant conversation with someone who tried too hard to impress you? Probably never. 6. Their expectations of loyalty and trust are very high. When it comes to trust and loyalty, Sigma men expect nothing but complete commitment. They don't just want people who stick around when it suits them. Such people are found everywhere. It's hard to find someone who will be there for you through thick and thin. Loyalty is everything to someone like Sigma, and that makes them great friends, partners, and confidants. Not only do they expect loyalty from those around them, but they also strive to be loyal to those they care about. They will always do their best to protect those they love no matter the situation. This is especially true in romantic relationships, as they are extremely devoted to their partners and will do anything to make them feel safe. While this kind of loyalty doesn't always come easily to some people, those who fully understand it can. Sigma men also do not easily forget matters of trust and loyalty. Once you break their trust, it's very hard to get it back. That doesn't mean they don't forgive, but they certainly don't forget when someone lets them down. Although some Sigmas may give a second chance, most won't unless they are absolutely sure the person is genuine and won't break their trust again. People often say that loyalty is a rare commodity these days, and if you want loyalty, get a dog. Although this may sound funny, it is to a certain extent. 7. Their quiet and mysterious nature often intimidates others. Sigma men tend to be very private and have a mysterious aura that can often be intimidating to some. They don't want to reveal too much about themselves and prefer to stay in the background rather than the center of attention. As a result, they are often underestimated by those who do not know them, as it is easy to mistake their quietness for a lack of confidence. However, those who have spent enough time with the men of Sigma know that there is much more to them than meets the eye. They tend to be incredibly passionate about their interests and hobbies, and can be quite vocal when discussing them. Although they do not always express their feelings openly, they still value human relationships like everyone else. This can be a bit of a barrier to building relationships with these men, as they have a hard time letting people in and making themselves vulnerable. However, they can become very outgoing and sociable once they open up and feel comfortable with Someone 8. They don't like getting into conflict or drama. These men are very peaceful and do not want to get involved in quarrels or conflicts. This is because they see no point in arguing and prefer to find a peaceful solution to any problem. They are not the type to get into shouting matches or heated arguments because they understand that communication should be constructive and not destructive. Although this may seem weak or passive to some, it is actually a sign of strength and maturity. Many do not know that it takes more courage to be silent than to shout. This, of course, does not mean that they are never opposed. If someone tries to take advantage of them or step on their toes, he will certainly not hesitate to take a stand and defend himself. Although they seem calm and unassuming, the last thing you want is a vengeful Sigma man. These guys know how to get the job done when it counts. However, they always try to avoid escalating the situation and try to find a peaceful solution. 9. They are not really fans of large crowds. Sigma men can seem calm and composed in large crowds, but tend to be quite uncomfortable with small talk and large groups. They prefer one-on-one conversations because it's easier for them to make meaningful connections. And while these men can be quite charismatic when they open up, they generally don't like situations where they are expected to entertain or put on a show. It's not because Sigmas are socially awkward. Far from it. They just don't need to draw attention to themselves because they prefer to live under the radar. They want to spend time with close friends and family in an intimate setting. The same can be said of their career choices. They tend not to engage in occupations that involve a lot of public speaking or require them to be constantly in the spotlight. They can do it if they need to, but it's just not their preference. They would much rather be in the background, quietly influencing without any fuss or attention. These are the kind of people who don't want to be famous, but want to make an impact. 10. They are very selective about who they let into their lives. While there is nothing wrong with having a large circle of friends or acquaintances, Sigma men tend to be very selective about who they want to associate with. They have like an internal filter that tells them if someone is worth their time and energy. Even if a person is nice and friendly, Sigma males can still keep their distance if they don't feel a connection. Not because these guys are snobbish or exclusive, but why waste your time with people you have no chemistry with? Such selectivity can also make it difficult for others to approach them. Although these men may seem aloof, That does not mean they are antisocial. The only people who have this misconception about them are those who don't know them. If you ask friends of Sigma, they will tell you that these guys are actually quite generous and loyal. 11. They are rare and often misunderstood by others. People aren't used to such a rare personality, so it's understandable why Sigma men might seem a bit strange and out of place to some. They don't fit into what most people think of as a normal person, which can make it difficult for them to find their place in the world. But don't mistake their silence or withdrawal for pessimism. These men are incredibly optimistic and deeply appreciate life. Sigma men may not be the most social or outgoing, but they often have an inner strength and wisdom that is rarely seen. Although it may be difficult for many to understand their unique way of thinking and behavior, it is what makes them so special. Many women are attracted to these men because they feel the depth of their character and appreciate their strong sense of self. 12. They are not desperate for attention or approval from others. The last thing you will see in Sigma is trying to get approval from others. They are not interested in impressing or putting on a show. These guys follow their own rules and don't need anyone's validation to feel like yourself. Sigma men prefer authenticity over conformity and value internal conviction over external validation. Their disregard for societal norms and expectations allows them to forge their own path in life, guided by a strong sense of purpose and integrity. Although they may not actively seek praise or compliments, they appreciate genuine recognition for their achievements and contributions. Their humility is not a false modesty, but a true belief that actions speak louder than words. Living by their own standards means that Sigma males are often pioneers and innovators, not afraid to challenge the status quo. This fearless approach to life attracts admiration and respect from those who appreciate his honesty and commitment to authenticity. They inspire others to embrace individuality and pursue their passions with unwavering determination. In a relationship, Sigma men offer unwavering loyalty and unwavering support to those who deserve their trust. They value deep connections based on mutual respect and understanding that nurture relationships that withstand life's challenges. Their reliability and sincerity make them valued friends and partners who are willing to go to great lengths for their loved ones. Despite their reserved demeanor, Sigmoros have a rich inner world and a unique perspective on life. They thrive in environments where they can express their creativity and intelligence, often making significant contributions to their communities and professions. Their ability to see beyond the surface and delve into the essence of things enriches conversations and deepens connections with others. In conclusion, while Sigma males may be rare and often misunderstood, their quiet strength and unwavering authenticity make them invaluable figures in a world that sometimes values conformity over character. They remind us of the importance of staying true to ourselves and honestly pursuing our passions. Their influence is measured not by popularity or recognition, but by the depth of their convictions and the sincerity of their actions. By embracing their uniqueness, Sigma males inspire others to do the same, leaving a lasting legacy of authenticity and courage. This expanded edition encompasses the essence of Sigma men, while providing a deeper understanding of their character and contribution to society.